I know we did this. I know we did this last year, but I would like to go around the room and find out what some of your Thanksgiving traditions are there in Canada, or how you spend it with your family. And I just want to start off by saying I am very grateful for all of the Canadian friends that I have made in the last year. I truly am. What a blessing you have been to me. It's been so much fun getting to know you, and I've been trying to learn about each of the provinces a little bit more, because I want to come and travel and come and visit you and have some events, and so we can write that off, of course, and come and see everybody. And I want the Canadians to be able to come down here. So anyways, I didn't want to go without saying that. So Melissa, we'll start with you. Tell us one of your traditions or something that you enjoy doing, or how you spent this year's.
Well, I spent this year, I have one daughter at home and one daughter in Toronto. So the tradition is, for when our girls are at university out east, they go to my husband's sister's house. So that's their Thanksgiving tradition. And we had Thanksgiving dinner on Monday evening here this year, because my other daughter, who's home, was working both Saturday and Sunday evenings. And it's kind of a new tradition for us, which I know sounds crazy, but my girls are both soccer players. And every year through all their years of schooling, there was a Thanksgiving soccer tournament. So we were either we were watching games on the side of the field and not really able to celebrate Thanksgiving at all. We would celebrate if the sun was out, but most of the time we were getting rained on. But it was always a fun tournament. But for literally the other thing too is I was often in Asia for Thanksgiving, and I would fly on the Sunday or the Monday from that Thanksgiving tournament to conferences in Asia that happened at this time of year, when I was in hotels and representing Canada to the Asian market and bringing Asian tourists here. So Thanksgiving just didn't have a tradition per se. So it's only literally been the last 2 years when my older daughter's been home. We haven't had any soccer because my younger daughter was away at university and I wasn't traveling anywhere. And it was absolutely lovely.
Love it. Love it. Now, if I'm correct, you're on the west coast of Canada. I mean,
Yeah.
You're on the west side, up around
Yeah.
Whistler and that beautiful. So share with us two big attractions in Canada that's close by you.
Well, Whistler Blackcomb would be the ski hill and home of the 2010 Olympics. It was co-hosted by Whistler and Vancouver. So those are the biggest attractions here. But interestingly, when I came here 31 years ago on October the 4th, I came for the skiing, and everybody said to me right away, you have to stay for the summer. There's so much more to do in the summer. And so I did. And then clearly I never left. And in the summer, we've got the lakes. Many of you know I'm out there paddleboarding, but there's sailing, there's kayaking, canoeing, and there's so much hiking and backcountry hiking in this region. I'm just so blessed to live in the mountains with nature all around me. And then it's become, in the last 20 years, I want to say, a huge mountain biking resort as well. So it's just your outdoor adventure play zone is what it is.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Claudio, your turn.
Well, what we normally do is we try to get as many of the kids together as possible. This year, unfortunately, we were only able to get two, but it was a little more special this time because the parents, which is my wife's son and his wife, took our granddaughter, which is just over 3.5 years old, out to look for a pumpkin. Since the twins were born, our twin grandsons, they haven't been able to spend as much time with her. So they wanted to have a little bit of alone time just with her. So we got to babysit the twins for a couple hours. So that was a lot of fun. We got to watch them eat, sleep, and poop. So it was a great experience.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we had a nice dinner. It's one of the 4 or 5 times a year that, my wife actually cooks dinner because I do it most of the year. So she loves doing the turkey dinner. So it was a really nice dinner. We had a good time and enjoyed everyone.
Okay, so tell us Americans where you are on the map, and then what's something in your general vicinity.
Well, there's nothing really where I am. We're in a small town called Bolton, which is about 25 minutes northwest of the top part of Toronto. In Toronto, there's so much to see there. I mean, there's nothing really in the way of old architecture other than a few buildings, but we've got what they call the toothpick in the sky, our CN Tower, which at one time was the tallest freestanding structure. We now have the Ripley Aquarium, one of the biggest aquariums in Canada as well. So there's all kinds of sights to see. It's nice to get on one of those sightseeing tour buses and just travel around, go through the castle that we have up here. And there's a lot of great sights to see.
Love it. Love it. Helen, you have had quite a transition this year. So do you have anything new for your Thanksgiving traditions now that you've got a big move under your belt?
Well, my big move hasn't happened yet. I sold my house and I'm renting, but I'm still in the same area. So I'm hoping that my big move is going to happen by next spring out into the country. So Claudio and I are actually in a fairly similar area. I'm in Newmarket. He's in Bolton. We're both north of Toronto. And I think he would agree that the neat part about living in the area that we are is we have access to Toronto with fine dining. We have fantastic theater there. It's of course on Lake Ontario. So there's lots of Lake Ontario attractions along there too. But then where we are, kind of like what Melissa was sharing, we have lots of hiking, lots of beautiful forests. And around here on Thanksgiving, one of the things we usually do is take a beautiful drive because that's when the leaves are all starting to change color. We didn't do that this year because gas shot up to almost $1.50. So we decided not to. Yeah, our traditions typically are another thing that's pretty common here in the Ontario area is on Thanksgiving weekend, people tend to go to their cottages for the last time and close them down because that's when weather starts getting cold and they have to winterize everything. Not something you guys have to think about down there in the south. So yeah, that's typically we kind of clean out the garden. Love to go to farmers markets, take a drive, see the trees, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Wonderful. Kate, are you still here where you can share? Yay. I see that I just saw that message. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's great shares on Canada. I love it. So got to experience, of course, Toronto for many years and now Vancouver Island. So living in the country every morning is out walking the lake or running the lake. Not running on the lake. I haven't learned that yet, so I'm going around it.
Read your Bible more. Read your Bible more.
I'm working on that. And so actually, we had probably one of the best Thanksgivings here that I can remember in a while, just because it was so full of love and so full of fun. So on Saturday, we had a group Thanksgiving dinner with the people that own the park here. They like to plan events and they invite a few people to join them and we've become friends with them. So we had dinner for 14 people and we had a turducken. Does anybody not know what a turducken is? Yeah, everybody know? Okay. What it is it's a turkey stuffed with a chicken, stuffed with a duck, stuffed with stuffing. It is absolutely incredible.
Sounds crowded.
I'm trying to envision getting the chicken inside the turkey and the duck inside the chicken and then
I'm trying not to envision it, Melissa.
I think they're all
right, Jessica.
They're all hatched inside of each other and they just grow up that way.
Oh no. That was so bad. So there's people that actually make this so you don't have to do it yourself. So they ordered a turducken and then we all brought our pieces of the potluck to the table and we had a beautiful table set up in the gathering place and we all enjoyed this fabulous dinner and appetizers. And then when dinner was over, the women got up, stripped the tables, the guys moved the tables and the chairs and we danced for the rest of the night. I went home, my clothes were absolutely soaked because I danced the entire time. We have to leave the party whenever we go dancing because if we don't, I'm going to hurt myself.
So that sounds like a wonderful.
Well, one of the other things one of the other things north of you on Vancouver Island, north of Victoria, that I really enjoy, because where I live in Seattle, says I go over and catch the ferry and cross over from Port Angeles over to Victoria, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. There's a little town north of Victoria called Duncan.
That
And it's
actually,
got lots
I
of-
go there. We go there regularly.
Yeah, I love all of the totem poles, the walking tour.
Yeah.
You can do the totem
Yeah.
poles and whatnot. It's really fun.
Okay, so never mind. I was going to say something, but I won't. so yeah, Duncan is actually a great place. Also has one of the best coffee places with the best baking around. So it's amazing. And then the next day on Sunday, what we did is we were invited to go to an open house. So this is really exciting for us because, as you guys know, we've only been here for a year and we're just starting to grow relationships and friendships. So Saturday night was incredible because it was people from the park that are here for the winter. So we've met some new people, which is amazing. And then Sunday, we were invited to an open house, and it was put on by a woman that has started a women's group that I'm part of. And there's about 12 to 14 of us there regularly. And she invited us to bring our spouses, and we had an open house at her place. And the warmth again, and the friendships that started, some deepened, right? Because there was some familiarity. And then we were invited to stay for dinner, and then we played Mexican train dominoes, which is a super fun game. So there was 6 of us that were together, 7 of us that were together for dinner. So I really feel like the community is getting some roots and grounding, and the leaves are turning. And on top of that, the leaves are turning here, and it's incredibly beautiful. And Melissa knows all about that. So BC is a most beautiful country for sure.
Well,
So-
thank you. Thank you for sharing. And one of the things that I wanted to share is Juanita made a post yesterday or last night or something that I saw, and it was really profound. I don't know if y'all been tracking the news or anything, but I guess off the port of California, they've had just all of these backups of not being able to upload all of their freight. And so all across America, including even on our shelves and stuff, and the retailers, the shelves are bare because we've been getting so much of our stuff from other countries. And so it's just a huge problem right now that they can't get the freight unloaded. And then I've heard from a lot of people that actually when they do get their freight unloaded, the retailers, their stuff is ruined because it's been sitting there for so long and all that stuff. But anyways, Juanita had posted this, here's a novel concept about Christmas, because they've been trying to scare all of us, you better get your orders in now because you won't be able to get it for Christmas and, all that stuff. And she made this note about how about let's just get back to the basics of love and family and friends and what it's really, Christmas is supposed to be about. And then I thought about my grandkids, and I thought about that movie, The Grinch, how the Grinch stole Christmas. And Christmas can't be stolen. You're forgetting what that is all about. And no matter what your faith is, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but it just, it kind of struck a big chord that they try and get that fear in us so that everybody starts shopping and going berserk, and giving the Amazon guy, more fuel for his rocket. But anyways, I just thought that was kind of interesting. And I love, that you're appreciating, family and friends and nature and all that. 'Cause many times people seem to think that it takes a lot of money, to have fun or to create those memories. And it doesn't. It really is truly, like Kate was saying, meeting new friends, building relationships, and all of those things. So thank you, our Canadian friends, for sharing your day with us. Now, we can go a couple of different ways today. First of all, Cosette, I'm going to let you give a little short introduction since you are our visitor today. Tell us a little bit about you and who invited you. Go ahead.
Okay, so Juanita Harvin invited me. She's known my mom for a long time, and because we are all in Germany together. I am trying to start. I'm at the baby steps of trying to start a business. I want to start a travel business. And so she's like, well, you should join this group because they have good ideas and, you know, people from all over and, you know, some, you know, it's good to start doing that. And so I know in the middle of a pandemic, starting a travel business, a little crazy, right? But I figured that people are going to want to go places once we're allowed to go places. And because of my history, I love to travel. So I'm like, I couldn't sell ice to an Eskimo because I love to travel, but I love to travel. So I feel like I can sell travel because I'm very passionate about it. Right now, I work for the federal government. So I feel like this is the time to do it. I have another 16 years and I'm like, I don't want to have a boss. I want to have my own business.
Right.
And so I'm trying to start that. And
let's
that way
let's help you just a second. Let's
Yes,
just
ma'am.
kind of hone in. Let's go down just a little bit and talk about this business idea that you have, because
Okay.
that's what we do best in this group. You need to differentiate yourself from everybody else in the pack. Everybody has their specialty. For example, Juanita, we know, even though she can do all different types of travel, that she really specializes in those European, you know, adventures. Well, another way that you could differentiate is by who you want to have this travel for. You know what I'm saying? It could be
Yes,
single
ma'am.
moms. It could be corporate, you know, the tighter that you can get that dot, the better, or maybe specialize. And I'm saying this from a perspective of just getting started, because when you get started, there's going to be expenses tied to that. And you can't be all things to all people. So maybe you want to consider becoming some specialized travel niche,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
or something. So do you have any ideas on that? And then I'm going to let the group kind of brainstorm with you for a couple of minutes.
I have been my mom, that's why she's sitting with me. We've been thinking about different things. Like I've thought about golf in Scotland because, you know, that's the home of golf. Like event traveling. In Germany, there's this huge festival that they have. It's a witch festival, and I mean, you know, there's people that love that kind of stuff. In England, there's and I maybe some like what I was thinking is maybe educational travel. So I'm actually brainstorming right now as well. Trying to figure out what I want to do the niche. Religious traveling. My mom and I were talking about that, you know, because there's a bunch of different ways it could go. And so I'm trying to feel my way around what would be the best way to start. So any help you can give me, I would appreciate it.
All right, we're going to open up the floor. Anybody want to give our some? Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, I mean, there's a couple different people that I've worked with as far as coaches and stuff. Bottom line is, what do you love? Absolutely. Number one thing, what do you love? Focus on that type of activity. Whether it's, you know.
Do you like to golf? I mean, if you're doing all these golfing things and you hate golf, that would suck.
Yeah, I know, I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
You know, even though it might be a lucrative business for you, after a while, it's probably not going to be very enjoyable.
Right.
But if you're an avid golfer, you know, getting to have your golfing trips paid for, you know, even if you just broke even, man, that would be a whoo, yeah.
I mean, it says if someone says, okay, you got one place you can go, all expenses paid. What's your answer? What are you going to do?
Okay. In all honesty, right now, I would do a historical tour. There's a great castle that they're building from the 1600s in France. I don't speak a lick of French, but that they're building, and they let tour groups come in, and you can work on there for 2 days, 5 days, or whatever. And I would love to do that. That kind of stuff I really love.
So you actually go in there. So it's kind of like how you have ecotourism and all this other tourism stuff. So you actually go and work the castle.
Yeah, you work on
projects.
Yeah, and you live like they lived back in the 1600s for a couple of days.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like a Renaissance fair.
I'd love that. That would be super fun.
Exactly. You know, I think that would be awesome. So
I think
know,
that
I-
sounds amazing. So,
Mhm.
and I agree with Bruce. Do what you love because then you're in alignment and you will keep attracting the right type of clients because you're working in alignment with what you love.
Okay.
And it's going to be easier to build your business that way than if you're trying to, promote other tours that maybe aren't as in alignment. At least that's where you start, right? And you're going to attract other clients and they might not want to do that specific tour. Well, then you have the tools to help them book the golf tour or the religious tour or whatever tour it is that they want.
Right. Okay.
And no matter what's being said, they'll see your passion.
Mhm.
Right.
And we want to be around passionate people.
Right. And that's why I wanted to do this. People were like, "Oh, do Mary Kay." I'm like, I don't wear makeup. Not interested in that at all. Not for me at all. This one, I love travel. So, okay. Okay. I'm going to sit down and we'll talk about that, Mom.
All right. Anybody else have any thoughts for her?
When
Laura?
they're done building my castle, let me know. I'll show up. I call Princess. I call Shotgun. I call Princess of the castle. I don't
I
want
think
was
to
all
gonna
that
say-
stuff very educational and also a lot of fun, because you don't realize, you think, 1600s, they didn't have anything. And then you start like getting into it. It was actually from a TV show that I learned about the castle. And you're like, how were they able to put these big stones up? And they show you exactly how they were able to do all that. And I'm like, how fascinating is that? I can't be the only person that's interested in this.
I'm amazed at the technology, just like when I was over there and we saw the, oh my gosh, the largest castle. What is it over there in Europe? Help me out, Juanita.
I went to the
Versailles?
Neuschwanstein. I went to the Neuschwanstein castle.
Neuschwanstein. Neuschwanstein
Yeah,
or
no, the one,
Hohenzollern.
the one with the gardens and all that, the big.
Versailles, the
Yeah,
Palace
Versailles.
of
Yeah,
Versailles.
yeah,
in
Versailles.
France, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
When-
yes.
when they
Versailles,
were-
France.
France, I'm
that's in
sorry.
France.
Yes.
When I went there, I was so amazed. We've got all this technology today, and we haven't built anything remotely like they did back in the day. I mean,
Mm-mm.
the engineering feats that these people could
With
do.
no computers.
Yes, with water and the water system alone just boggled my mind. I mean, it was so crazy. And I'm just thinking, can you imagine what those people could have done with the technology we have today? I mean, they were brilliant, but they spent their whole lives on their craft. And I do
Yeah.
realize that as well, where we don't do that anymore. We kind of,
Mhm.
we
That
don't
would-
specialize like that.
Just like what you're saying, Nancy, is that's another part of incorporating that type of information on the travel tours. I mean, having, kind of behind the scenes historical
Behind the
thing,
scenes,
how
yeah.
they did this.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we give them enough credit for the engineering know-how that they used to have. I mean, we went to the Pantheon in Rome, and it was built before, in BC. And when you look at the dome that they had built, and they had the know-how or the knowledge to cut out squares to be able to withstand the weight of all the concrete, because that whole dome was just one big slab of concrete. But
Yep.
because of the cutouts they had, it was able to withstand all the weight, and it still stands today. More than
Well,
2,000 years
the
later.
Sphinx and all those things, you're just like, it's
Yes.
just so mind-boggling to me. It really is.
Mhm.
So hopefully that was helpful for you, Cosette, to kind of
Yes, it was.
start your juices flowing on that
Yes.
just a little bit.
Thank
Yeah,
I
you.
just add a little suggestion, Nancy. I
Yes.
think just from hearing the passion of the people in this group around that idea, I think one thing, and again, from some of the suggestions that you made of places that you would like to go, I think if you branded yourself as kind of unusual tours, like I think you mentioned something about going to some witch festival or something,
Yes,
and then
yes.
there's this like medieval castle. That would be a really cool branding, because like there's all sorts of common tours. Anybody can go to Germany, anybody can go to a castle, but to do those kinds of things, if you sought out, a half a dozen really cool experiences and that was your brand, then you could build everything else around that. I think that would be a really
That's
neat way to go.
Unique.
That's a
Yeah,
really good idea.
it is, Helen. That's
Mhm.
excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Okay.
Glad it was worth the comment.
Absolutely.
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your input. All right. For our table topic today, we had talked last week about it was Columbus Day and, time for discovery and new things. And someone had mentioned that this is our last quarter of the year. So we have October, November, and December to finish strong. And so we don't know whether you are on track for your goals or you're off track. It doesn't matter. But what we decided that we would come up with something that we're going to do this last quarter so that we can finish strong. So who would like to share something maybe that they have planned for this last quarter that's going to help them finish strong with their business? Go ahead, Melissa.
I'm working on a webinar that I'm going to do in November, late November, on how to boost your immune system, leading people into January, because that's when everybody starts to think about looking after their health and taking action, right? So I don't want to do it right now because it probably won't get results. People aren't looking to look after their health with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. But that's my plan to, finish off this year and then start 2022 strong.
Very good. Very good. Anybody else? Bruce?
Yes, I'm going to be doing a few different, one-day events in January, and then like the end of January, do my first 3-day event. So I'm going to be the rest of this year, preparing for that, but also putting together some like little mini online courses also that I'll be offering.
Good deal. Juanita?
I hope to get my wine sales going for the Christmas holidays. So hopefully get some of those gifting ideas to have people ship those gifts, because we're not out of wine. There might be a shipping issue around the world, but we've got wine. Okay, so that's a wonderful gift. Or if you need your thank you for Christmas time, I just ordered mine that has my Your Way logo on there, and thank you to my really good customers that I can give those bottles of wine to. So that's I hope to be finishing out the year with that. But hopefully I will be over in Germany for Christmas time for our Italian ski week, and the CMT travel, the big travel trade fair is open in January in Stuttgart. So I hope I might still get a spot in there. If not, I'm going to go hang out and get some good info on that. But I've got some more software training I need to do.
What have you thought about, like clubs and organizations or something like that maybe you could help get you some sales going, some bigger, instead of the onesies and twosies, maybe some bulk sales for all their holiday parties is what I'm thinking.
And I've sent some info to some Rotary clubs here to get the wine for their parties. Yes. And
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm doing, there's a community up here in the area near Beulah. And so tomorrow, the vendors and the people that are marketing in they have a magazine called Happy Trails. That's the name of their community. And that what they do is they invite the vendors in. So tomorrow I'm going over there and introduce myself and see about some wine tastings and things like that. And of course, one of the prizes is going to be that red and white wine tasting. So when one of them gets it, the rest of them will start talking about it.
Well,
Very
the other
good.
thing to also keep in mind with the housing market is booming. So get with real estate brokers.
Yes, yes, I've done that.
And that
Yeah.
kind of thing, yeah.
For some reason, some of them, they have their own little gift, the picture of the house or family established or whatever, but I'm getting there. But yep, Bruce, good idea. So I'm trying to get some of these Rotary clubs, and I tried to get the chamber, they had their 75th anniversary here in Fort Walton. But I caught that one kind of late.
Yeah. And they're a little tight on their purse strings sometimes.
Yes.
Good deal. Helen, did you have something that you wanted to share? I thought I saw your hand. No?
Oh, no, I actually scratched my wrist and I
Okay.
thought, oh, they're going to think I put my hand up. But I can share though.
Okay, go ahead.
My biggest project that I want to finish by the end of this year, and I say finish, but I actually have to start it and finish it, is getting my funnel system together. So I have my website, I have my my online course, I have my webinars, I have all that stuff ready to go, and now I need to put a funnel system together so that things start selling themselves and I can spend my time doing other things. So that's my plan for this fall.
Good deal. Anybody else want to share? Claudio?
Well, most of you know what I'm doing. I'm still with Cash FX, obviously, and my goal is to basically be at double the point that I'm at now by the end of the year. So it's going to double at least the passive income side. The team building side, which I do as an option as well. Hopefully, that's going to definitely take me above that level. So, real excited to hit some big numbers.
Fantastic, fantastic. Laura, you want to tell them about your amazing, crazy schedule that you have coming up for the next year? And then you can also tell about our exciting deal.
Yeah, so I had big plans for this year and I've been sculpting everything this year. So it's all starting to come to fruition. But I'm not a patient woman, so it's been driving me crazy. But I've been moving things forward, and so I will be, I'm now traveling and teaching. I'm the top leadership trainer for a couple of top MLMs and Forex trading and a couple other things. Also doing the bank methodology with them. And I just started working with a company on who gives you your own PBS, your own personal blogging system, your own website to sell things. And Juanita, that includes wine as well. So I want to have a talk with you. Yeah, so I think you'd be interested in hearing more about that. But it allows you to have that $500 to $1,000 a week when you work through the system. And I've done it. So that's new. That's been going on the last month or so. So it's worth a conversation. If anybody wants, just contact me and I'll set up some time. We'll chat. But the coolest thing is my leadership has taken off to the point where I'll be.
You're cutting out. You're
leaving
cutting
at the end
out.
of January because I hate.
Stop,
okay?
start back. You cut out. Listen at this schedule, y'all.
Okay, one sec.
Freezing, Laura.
When she told
How's
me the
that?
schedule, I was like, what?
How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Damn internet. Okay, so I switched my internet. So when I come down into California at the end of January, I'll be going from there to Hawaii to take the vacation with my husband we've been trying to take for the last 3.5 years.
You need to back up, Laura. You need to start in November because we missed that part. Start in November. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so November, I'm training down in Houston and Dallas at a couple of, I guess, conferences for network marketing companies, speaking on stage, all that kind of stuff, teaching their leadership team. The leadership portion has started to take off. The PBS portion with my own website and the shopping mall that it's around had taken off. And I've been setting this up all year long, right? And then in January, I'm going down into California for the end of January. And from there, I'm going to Hawaii for our vacation. I'm coming back to Florida. Nancy and I have been working together. I'm going to be there for 3 weeks between February and the beginning of March. We're going to run a 3-day leadership. What did we call it? It was awesome.
Yeah, and I don't have my notes here. I can't believe it was not
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, a leadership extravaganza. It's for people who, and you don't have to be a leader. It's to move you to the next level of your business. So you're going to spend 3 days together. We're going to have wine. We're going to have cheese. We're going to have delicious food. We're going to have a cruise. And I'll let you guys know the dates of that. And it's going to be in right near where Nancy is in Pensacola there. So we're getting some accommodation ready for you guys. And it's going to be a great opportunity to move yourself to the next level in what you're doing and actually see a difference. Okay. I'm gonna
Winner
give you the-
leaders of distinction.
Yeah, leaders of distinction. Oh my God, that's so powerful. I love that. Okay. You don't need to be a big leader to do this, but you want to move and grow your business. So you definitely want to be there. We're limiting it at 10 or 20 people. So the spots are limited because we want everyone to get a lot of attention. And then from there, I'm flying to Paris to speak at the International Women's Leadership Conference. I'm very excited about that. I'll be stopping in France to very many wineries along the way to make sure that everything is still tasting good in France. And then from there, we're coming back to the US, going into Alabama, and driving over to Las Vegas for the launch of one of these network marketing companies in April, and driving back to Canada at the end of April. So I definitely don't want to be here in the winter. So I think that's a pretty good plan. So that's kind of where my business is going. It's literally atomic bomb blown up, and I'm willing to have so much more. So I'd love to take you all on that ride with me and have you guys have so much more in what you do too as well.
Wow, you're busier than a flea in a hot griddle. Wow.
I know, man. I hate to see. I'm going to change my mindset on that. I would love to see that travel bill and celebrate with you.
Yeah, the beauty is most of it's on my 500 million points I haven't been able to use the last
There
5
you
years.
go. Wow.
So that's
Very-
cool. Yeah.
Very good.
So it's been interesting up here for for Thanksgiving, because Claudio, like I just realized half the people on today are Canadians, which is awesome. But for me, I literally live right down in the center of Toronto. And so when they were talking about Toronto, it was really interesting because where I am, it's like a gastronomic extravaganza. Wherever you go, like the food and the drinks are so good, and you can have them on the water. And so like for that alone, I'll travel. So I don't need big, exciting
Laura, I
things.
think the correct term is supposed to be gastro porn. I think that's
Exactly.
the correct.
That's what I'm in the middle of, and I don't need to go anywhere else. So I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm sorry. I totally forgot that you were in Canada
No,
as
don't
well.
worry,
I was
it's all good.
thinking US.
Yeah. So it was an interesting week. Let's just leave it at that.
Do you have any traditions or anything for your Thanksgiving up there that you'd like to share?
Over the years, it's kind of like families grow and people go do their own things. This year was a bit tragic because my sister and her family wanted to go out for dinner. I couldn't go out for dinner, so I was not included in that, just because of what's going on in the world. And that's okay. We had my husband's side of the family on the Saturday, so it was good. But I think we just have to stay positive, and things are all gonna come together. This is not gonna last forever, and we just have to be positive. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good.
On that note, I just have to share another term with you guys. So Nancy, you mentioned gastro porn. So I was listening to a webinar this morning, and they used the word fear porn, which is what's been happening on media regarding all of this pandemic, right? And I thought, what a great term that is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Thank
Jessica, you have anything you want to share?
So I missed the main topic. I've heard so many interesting, exciting things. I'm just not sure. I heard about Thanksgiving, and I've heard about
round one, we were just talking about was Canadian Thanksgiving. So we went around and talked about traditions, and now we've moved on to our table topic, which was basically the last quarter of the year. What are you going to do to finish strong? Do you have anything that you would like to share, or anything that we could help you with, or anything, just kind of let us know what you're going to be up to over the next 90 days.
So the next 90 days is going to be about the next week. We will have I've been saying this, but we really are there to upload the next course to help people source their own person, and have this membership and consulting to help them once you've got a person doing things for you. How do you keep that going, and the return on investment, and what things they should be doing, so people aren't alone on it. Even if they're finding their own person, they're not completely left alone, and get some guidance. And I have been very busy, like Laura, banking a lot of really great joint venture relationships and partnerships, and building all that. So as that goes, I'm hoping to then circle back through all of that and collaborate on what we're doing here. And we've I think we're up to 50 VAs. I've got one main manager, 2 more grooming. So we're getting the 3 managers really, by the end of this year, I want all 3 managers where they could independently run the whole team division and manage the clients. So if one goes, you know, the plan is divided to be between the 3 of them, so they have a focus. But if one person has to have a life or go on vacation or something, then I've got 2 more backups that are covering and running the ship. So doing everything I can to really take myself out of the equation as much as possible so that I'm just doing the things that I want to do.
Good deal. Barry, I think it was last week I heard you mention to Jessica about the live networking events and stuff are opening back up. You want to kind of give us maybe an overview on what you've seen? I have not attended very many, so I'm not a good judge right now of that, but I am curious to see how that's working out for y'all.
As you said, I have started doing live events again, but I have changed how I do them. I used to be out every day. And that means from where I live, traveling 1 to 1.5 hours each way, then a 2-hour meeting, and the cost of the gas and the cost of the meeting and and I just saw that I'm meeting so many more people virtually that I've eliminated the distance events. So in my area, I do go to the regular events that are in my area. They are well attended. In fact, they are better attended now already than the virtual events for the same presenter. But 2 of the 3 have maintained a virtual and live situation, which I think, and I am verbal about, I think is very smart, because you get to see so many people from so many different areas. Why not expand?
So you talking about like a hybrid where they're have the system set up there too, as well as people in the room?
One of them does that, but the other ones do both virtual and live events so that people not just in the area can attend virtually on exclusive virtual events. So yes, they do it hybrid also.
Okay.
I'm going to also butt into Canada. I had the privilege and pleasure of attending a wedding of a friend. We've been friends for probably 15 to 20 years up in St. Thomas. And one of the best things about it was Linda and I really together chose to drive up rather than to fly. So we got to spend that time in the car both ways. Yeah, it was a long trip, but it was a beautiful trip in the countryside that we were seeing, and also in the ability to spend time with each other. I'll skip to the wedding. An amazing, it was in St. Thomas, which is 3 hours north of Buffalo and to the west of Toronto. Town of about 40,000. We had a great hotel. We did sightseeing on Saturday morning of the day of the wedding, which was a whole lot of fun. I won't go into it. It was just a whole lot of fun. The people and the countryside is amazing. I have never seen so much corn in my life. And the wedding itself was held at a floral farm. In other words, they do nothing but raise flowers and things that grow in the earth. And they also raise chickens, and they have built a wood facility that can hold probably about 100, but a beautiful wood facility. They had the wedding outside amongst the trees, the chickens walking around, and because they're around people all the time, they're not scared. So it was kind of cool. But the beautiful floral background of everything that we did and the great caterer that they had. And everything was local.
And I
This
bet
is
the
not-
smell, I mean, I bet the smell was just magnificent.
Just absolutely exquisite. They had a great disc jockey who played great music. And Mama, the mother of the bride, is somebody who needs a walking walker so that she can maneuver. She was out dancing almost all night with the rest of us. I was sitting down. I ran out of steam. Oh, my Lord. But it was great, and the people were great, and the people were so loving. The biggest frustration that I heard was so many of them travel to the US and they can't do it now. They haven't been able to, and they miss having that flexibility. So y'all have been kind of stuck in a great country. Don't get me wrong. I've been traveling to Canada since I was probably 6 years old. Quebec is don't be offended, my favorite province. I've been there at least a dozen times.
You can have it.
Vancouver second, Toronto third. So,
Well,
but
I
just an
believe-
amazing part of the world.
I believe they, didn't I see something online that opened up to Canadians now in the next, like, very short period of time? Juanita, is that correct?
Only if you're fully vaccinated.
Yeah,
Okay.
in November, I believe. Early
November 1, fully vaccinated only.
Okay, okay.
But
I
it was
thought I had
beautiful.
seen
It was
something.
beautiful, and the people were beautiful, and the countryside was beautiful. Couldn't have asked for a better time to spend with Linda.
Awesome.
Did you take any pictures that you could share, or did you share some and I missed them on your Facebook or something?
Have a few. Linda has more than I do. Interestingly enough, at the wedding, they asked us not to because they didn't
Oh.
want people just walking around with their phones and
Right.
like that. But they've sent us videos. They've sent us some photographs. We went to a Witches and Wiccans event at the railroad exhibit in downtown St. Thomas, which is great. I'm a little spoiled. We have the B&O Railroad Museum here in Baltimore. If you've never been there, go. But it was over 100 vendors and kids running around with all kinds of masks, and they were face painting and things stuck on their head. And the one thing that they have there, back in 1855, Ringling Brothers had their main elephant. His name was Jumbo. He was run over by a train. And in 1955, yes, exactly, Jessica. And in 1955, 100 years later, a group of people got together and did a life-size, I'm going to call it statue, but a recreation of Jumbo, and in a park of flowers overlooking the river. Just beautiful. So simple things like that, you can tell the quality of the people in the area. So it was an amazing trip. Thanks for asking, Nancy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Anybody else have anything else that they'd like to share?
I just like how you carefully asked Barry if he could give us pictures that he could share, you know. Did you take any pictures you can share? Because we know, Barry, you got those pictures you can't share. That's what we're really looking for. Everybody's talking about
Well, you know what was the name
pornographic
of the
here
place?
and pornographic this, and now we got pictures flying around. I don't know what.
Oh,
kind of
and
group
this is an Italian
anymore.
mother of 7 talking, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. What was the name of that place, Barry? Maybe they have something online where they've got some pictures.
The city is St. Thomas, and the elephant himself was named Jumbo.
What was the resort or facility that the wedding was at?
You know what? I don't know, but I will find that out.
Okay, because they
It
may
was
have a
just-
website where we could see those pictures, because I would really love to see, you know.
It was exquisite and a whole lot of fun. So
Wow.
I'll find out from Denise.
Okay,
All right.
thank
Hey,
you.
has
Yeah.
anybody been
Shared-
doing tapestries? Has anybody been working on tapestries?
Claudio, do you have anything on that? The tapestry?
It's opened up, site is available. The app is now on Android and iPhone.
Yep.
I saw yesterday somebody took it off of somebody's platform. Either Google or somebody took it off their platform.
Oh, they
I
don't
haven't-
like the
I haven't heard anything.
competition, do they? They don't like the competition.
I guess.
Well, then they should start paying us.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. Good point.
That's the
It's
point.
not
That's
in
the
Canada
point.
yet, though. It's going to be a bit before it's in Canada.
I
I
just
know
wanna
Olivia had
share
said
that-
when she downloaded it, she had already been paid $1, and I need to go back because I tried to download and it wasn't accepting my email, so I've got to go work that.
Maybe it thinks you're in Canada because you hang out with Canadians too much.
Yeah, yeah, you hoser. Take off to the Great White North.
I just want to share today's the last day to vote for the Business from the Heart Awards that I've been nominated for. So if everybody, I'll drop the link in the chat. If everybody would mind taking 3 seconds to just go in and vote, in the bottom 3 categories, you will find my name. Thank you so very much.
Fantastic. Already voted. Good, good, good.
Yeah,
Me too.
you can vote once a day, so you're allowed to cast.
Oh,
a vote
okay.
today. Yeah,
All right.
last day.
All right, let's move along to our week theme, which is Iron Sharpens Iron. Any tips, tools, strategies to help you grow? And I'm going to start that off because I have an exciting announcement. I'm sure you've been seeing all week long that I have been hiring some social media ambassadors. And one of the things that I have found was attending on the posting parties and hearing about the pods and all of those things. Although they work and they work extremely well, attendance now has started in waning, even for ours, you know, and we don't even require you to be present. And so some of the things that I had heard was, we know it works. We're just event out. We can't be there all the time. You know, that's the basic thing. So what I have done is I've put a group of these ambassadors together, and they started with me this week. And so I put out my social media, did it in advance, so everything would be ready across 5 different platforms, and just practicing and training them so that they know what to do. And we'll be having them grouped up in 2-hour blocks, and they'll sign up for me when they want to work. And they will be out there basically boosting posts. And so I'm going to add this as a benefit for outside people as well as our members. And so it's going to be extremely affordable, but we want to try this out and to see if this doesn't alleviate some of your stress. So for example, if you want to just do LinkedIn, you know, all you'll do is just like our posting party. Every day I'll have a graphic there. You can put yours in anytime. It doesn't have to be a special time, but you just put it in there. And then as they get to them, the whole team of these ambassadors will go through, and they have been trained now. They know the deal. They have to read your post. They have to make a thoughtful comment, 5 words or more, and they've been doing a good job. And so far I've been working, and I don't even use the other platforms, but just been practicing with them. But YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and what did I miss? Anyways, I think I've been trying 5 this week with them, you know, just trying to get them in there. So to see how they're doing, and their English is good and all of that other kind of stuff. And I am seeing just what we thought, just like it's been going with our posting parties, the boost that I'm, you know, getting out there to hundreds instead of 20s. And the way that we're going to track that is I'm going to ask people to send me their views for their last 5 posts. That way we'll have a baseline, because we want this to work. If it's not working, it's not worth your time or your money to do it. But I know based on what everybody else is saying, these posting parties work. They just don't have time to devote to doing that all day long, just like they don't have time to do nothing but networking all day long, because you've got to be working your business. You got to put it on autopilot, and you got to do some of these things. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll just have a site set up for you where you could drop your links in there. So anyways,
What's
I'm
it
just
gonna
excited.
cost, Nancy?
We're looking at $30 a month for 20 posts. And when I say 20 posts, that's if you want to just do LinkedIn, that would be basically one post a day. One post a day, the team would go in and do that. That's all, the whole team, not just one person doing it. Now that means a team post for you. So you can boost one. So you could do 5 days a week, 4 times. You can do whatever you want. If you want to do them all in 1 week, you could do them all in 1 week. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, just to kind of test the waters, that's what we're looking at. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Tips, tools, resources, strategies to help you grow.
Will you be sending an email out about that?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Barry and Bruce, I think, or it might have been Claudio too, brought it to my attention. They asked me that they have not been receiving correspondence from me in the last couple of weeks. Okay. I've not sent any. That's why. Number one is I'm getting, because my name is out there and I've been posted my email and all that stuff. My email account has been inundated with spam, and I have over 30,000 emails in my inbox right now, and it's driving me crazy. I've been trying to clean it all out, and it's been terrible. So I've missed emails. It's just terrible. So I'm going to be setting up another email account, and I'm going to separate those out to who and where and all that I'm posting. So I apologize if I've missed any. That's the first thing, so that you know. No, I've not sent any out. The last one, I believe, was the newsletter. And I'm going to go ahead and keep, I'm going to go ahead and keep the recording.
September 27th, I think, is the last one that I got. Yeah.
Okay. And so that would be a question. I didn't know, one, are you reading the emails? Are they valuable? Are they not? Do you want the newsletter? Was it valuable or not? Would you prefer just to have, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to waste my time if you're not going to be reading it. And so, you know, that's a point too. You know, we want to make sure that I'm providing you valuable service and keeping you updated. But at the same time, if it's just like spam in your inbox, if that's what you're feeling like, then we don't want to do it. So that would be something that, you know, we need to discuss, and I'm open for your feedback, and don't worry about if you're going to hurt my feelings, because I want to provide value for you. As you know, I don't want to do anything that's going to be a waste of your time or overkill or anything like that.
Nancy, I think it's really helpful for days that we miss, or if we're not, you know, if we're off somewhere else or doing something. For me, it's a good refresher or a reminder. So I appreciate the news.
Okay.
And I was getting them and getting used to looking at them, and I would look at it to see, okay, what's our background meant to be this time? And just, you know, when's the next mastermind, that kind of information. And so, yeah, I don't necessarily read the whole thing. I'll glance through to what I'm interested in and read that part. Okay. But I do read it. I do open it.
Anybody else? Any comments?
Well, I'm just kind of wondering, is if maybe we could create a page on our Meet My Referral Partners website. It's kind of like a blog, you know, thing where you just post the updates and everybody just knows, go to that page, and instead of trying to monitor emails and that. I mean, that might be another option.
Or the Facebook group, maybe.
Yeah,
just a weekly update as to the theme, especially as Juanita said, if you missed one Friday, then you don't know what was decided for the next Friday.
Yeah, the Facebook group might be the.
I like Bruce's idea better, because we can't guarantee, we own the website. We can't count on Facebook.
Right. Yeah. Facebook goes down, you're screwed.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, we'll plan on implementing that. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, because I would have forgotten to mention that. Okay, tips, tools, strategies to help you grow your business. What have you discovered? What's something cool? Anything this month that Laura?
Yeah. So I have been using a service through LinkedIn to expand my network. It's called Dripify. If you want, just let me know. I can send you the link to look at it. So you basically set up your whole funnel, the message you want to send. It likes posts. It follows people. It will hit on recommendations. It's pretty interactive, and you're pretty hands off once you set it up. I have had a 50%. Let's say I did a search on, I want to talk to HR consultants about communication. I would have 1,000 people in that search. I've had a 50% acceptance rate.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been shocked with the amount of quality contacts that I've gotten from this. And I wanted to be sure that it wasn't just a fluke. And I did 2 other ones, sales and IT and sales.
I'm wondering if I got something yesterday through LinkedIn and I thought it was kind of a weird looking something different. And I'm wondering if it was one of those. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
if I have a
Not
link
from you,
for
but
it
I'm
to
just
try,
saying.
if you want to try it out, I think there's a 7-day free trial. So if you want it, just message me, and I'll send it to you. It's called Dripify. I've tried a lot of things. I've never had results like this. I literally have 750 new quality contacts over the past 21 days
Wow.
on my LinkedIn profile.
And did
there's
you say it, like the drip part, it's commenting on posts on your behalf as well, did you say?
It doesn't comment, it likes posts.
Ah, okay.
It follows people. You create custom messages. So if they respond, it stops responding and then you can take it offline. But if they don't respond, you send them a second message, right? So it's really and I'm no techie, so it's got to be easy to use, right? So if it's not, I don't do it. I hire somebody to do it. But I'm telling you, it's easier. I can't say enough good things about this thing. So if you guys want the info, just let me know.
Yeah,
Wow,
I'd like
that's
to know.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, put it in the chat. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can look. I just, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I put information in the chat here about ULA. It's just recently started using that. It's a great tool for creating, setting and tracking goals and being accountable in that. And it's 7 different areas, and it's a really cool resource in that. So some of the coaches in that, they're actually making it a requirement for their clients to use. So instead of coming up with their own way of doing the goal setting process and that, it's a subscription thing. $47 a month, I think. And if you get 3 people as to subscribe, yours is free. But it's a great resource. ULA is just a short thing for Ulala life. Just
Come on, say it right.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. But I mean, it's a great resource in that. And also a little earlier, says I posted a link for Ellie's 3-day event, November 5th to the 7th. It's going to be an amazing event, and it's targeted for the women and that. But hey, I'm going. Come on, guys, don't be afraid. This is Ellie over delivers everything that she does. So, and I got the VIP ticket because she's got some epic stuff planned and that. So I wanted to put a plug in there for that too.
Fantastic. And that kind of reminded me, I've mentioned to you speakers and coaches before about how important it is to always have something ready and willing for a coaching gig that might have went south somewhere, because that might be what gets your foot in the door. Well, I get those quite often because everybody knows I can do it on a dime. Well, Debbie with the Y McKinney connected me yesterday with someone. Their speaker had to back out at the last minute for an event on Tuesday, and they wanted to know whether I would be their featured speaker. And of course, I was able, thank goodness, to say yes. But I mean, and they have a conference every year. So this could be a potential, a tri-state conference or something like that. And so this might be, I would have really never even thought about. It's a public relations organization, and that's not really my gig, but I have a lot to offer that group. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. And so again, I want to reiterate how important it is, if you are a speaker or interested in doing something like that, always have a few that you could do for a luncheon. Or I'm not talking about a big long thing. I'm just talking about something short, usually, 10, 15, 30 minutes that you could speak on just like that in a minute. That would kind of be I don't want to say generic, but something that everybody could benefit from no matter what the group. And then you could get some speaking gigs out of that.
Well, that's the thing too, is along what you're saying there is to have a variety of different things you can talk on in such a way that you can,
Tailor
form
it.
to whatever that group, what their focus is.
Yes. Melissa, did you have something that you wanted to share a while ago?
I wanted to share and I wanted to ask. So something I've heard of recently is called Tribe Up, which is a platform that is, from the sounds of things, you can, do Zoom on it, but like Facebook groups, masterminds, all sorts of things like that, that is separate from all the current social media we have today, so that it's not at risk of being shut down on you, apparently. Just wondering if anybody else has heard of it, using it. No? Okay. The other thing that I've been using that is great that I've just discovered, StreamYard's been around for a while, but what you can do now is pre-record and then schedule those pre-recordings to go live, which was really awesome on Thanksgiving Monday when I didn't feel like working. I had just done my Monday recording ahead of time, and it went out and looked as if it was live on Monday morning, but I was doing yoga at the time that it went out.
I love that. I have been listening and watching your videos. I just
Well,
love the
thank
look
you.
of that. And I want to start using StreamYard, I think, but it's just sitting down
Yes.
and taking the time to do it.
Yeah, it's really easy to do. I will say you have to use Chrome. I normally use Safari, but there's a few of these that require Chrome only. So just as an FYI, but it's really easy to do.
Okay. Jessica?
So are you using Tribe Up, Melissa?
No, I just got told about it and I haven't even had a chance to look into it. But wanted to ask if any of you guys,
chat, because I want to check it out now. Let's find it and stick it in the chat if you can. My share for today is a free speakers directory, and having you as a speaker. And Nancy, I loved your story because the same thing happened to me. I got called at the last minute by a friend who organizes summits, who said, hey, my summit person backed out, can you speak? And then I ended up speaking on another one, and I ended up with a great, I even got to pull one of my clients in to speak. And so I got to be a hero, and, she had several holes in the summit and she needed to fill them quick. And that was awesome to have people like ready and to be able to do that. But having your name out there on as many speaker directories as possible, speaking something you want to do, is a really important thing. And I actually know the owner of this platform. They're a client of mine out of Norway. And he developed, like, Hey Summit is a very common software that people use to run their summits. And he invented or created or developed, whatever the correct term here is, a new software platform for summits that is more dynamic. And so not only, and if you let me share my screen for a second, I can show it to you. Not only can you find,
Yeah, go ahead.
not only can you put your speaker information on this platform, but, and there, look, we see, I know this person. Who is this person? It's the beautiful Melissa. And so put your speaker stuff in here, which is fab, but they have events and giveaways. And I'm jumping into a giveaway that's guarantees 400 new signups for $60. So I'm giving it a shot. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm sending my freebie in at my $60 because I paid more than that to eat out to dinner at a restaurant I didn't like. And so I figure I'll give that a shot. But look, there's so many summits, and look, open accepting speaker applications, so I just wanted you guys to have this resource if you're looking to if one of your end quarter goals is to fill up your speaking schedule for, this quarter and the first quarter of next. I know I've already got speaking things booked into September of next year. So that's my thing.
I just want to add to that I only signed up for that in the last 30 days because I had to for a summit that was using that technology. And then I've had actually one person reach out to me since, because I'm there, and asked me to be on their summit coming up in December.
Wow.
And it turns out to be a lady in Richmond who used to be in Girl Guides, and we've probably been at the same camps, but what a small world that she found me there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is for the tribe, right?
Sorry?
This is for the Tribe app?
No, we were talking about Event Raptor listing your
Event Raptor.
No,
right,
that's
okay.
my link for the speaker registration. And I do appreciate if you use my link because they do track that. And I think over time, that's going to give me kudos, even though it's free for you to register. Using my link does give me brownie points. So I'm grateful for that if you guys decide to.
We love brownies. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have another recommendation kind of similar to Melissa's. I heard about something called mightynetworks.com, a not-for-profit group that I'm actually on the board of. We're looking at using that. Who was it that mentioned this? Barry, I think, about moving. Some platforms are staying online, some are going in person. And so this group that I belong to we're kind of trying to transition through this. So this actually allows a membership base. You can post videos. It kind of becomes like a membership hub. You can have live events in it. It connects to Zoom, all sorts of things. So if you've got something in your business that is a membership based portal where we're taking funds from people to give them content, have them attend things, this might be something you guys want to look at. I don't know the details on it yet because our group has just started investigating it, but it sounds pretty neat because it really ties a lot of things in together. I'll
Thank
post
you.
it in the chat.
Okay. Anybody else? Well, let's talk about a theme for next week. We got a little bit more time now where we can relax and think about it. Let's see. Next week will be our elevator pitches, first of all. So we will work on elevator pitches. Let's work on our 30 seconds. So if you have something new that you're wanting to practice and get some feedback on, 30 seconds is a short period of time, but you still can get in a whole lot during that as well. So let's work on that. So we will work on elevator pitches next time, but we need, let's see here. We need a theme. Anybody have any suggestions?
Well, the following week would be the weekend before Halloween, so probably don't want to jump the gun on the favorite candy for Halloween.
Right, we could, let's see here. Yeah, we'll do that. We can do that on the 29th.
29th,
Let's
yeah.
plan on doing that for the 29th. That was fun last year when we did
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but we need something for next week. What would be something interesting? I need to have a list and just go through there and see
Maybe
what
fa-
y'all
You
think.
know, I
Favorite
have an
childhood
idea.
Sport, like the sport you did the most in childhood or something. I don't know. We might.
What was you saying, Jessica?
I was just gonna, you guys are like a mastermind for me. And I mean, we've done so much together and I've discovered, and it's not a real surprise, but I've been working like a Rubik's Cube, this issue, because every one of my clients, no matter where they are in the world, based on the topic I'm doing, are having the same challenge of this competing for butts and seats, right? For the virtual webinar, the virtual summit, the virtual online course, the 3-day challenge, the, show up to my live, show up to my this, come to this, come to this. And I feel like I'm trying all these different things. And I think it would be great if we could all brainstorm on something that's really worked to get signups, because I'm running out of ideas and I feel like I need to build a playbook. Like we're trying ringless voicemail job and mailings and email and joint ventures and collaboration and,
What it seems, you are exactly right. From, I'm talking to so many people each week, and that kind of is one of the questions that I'm talking about, but everybody is getting frustrated. But it's because it was the bandwagon effect. It started out, it was new, it was exciting. then everybody jumped on that bandwagon. And then now it's like the challenges are no longer new. The summits are no longer new. The upgrades, that everybody knows exactly what's going to happen. And so it's like we've been evented to death. And we do need some new blood. We need some new, fresh ideas. We need something new that's going to be innovative that people are not doing yet. What might that look like? So maybe I'll send that out, and maybe we just spend that whole entire time brainstorming and talking about some things that we might could start implementing to get, it's great to have the video recording, but what I'm afraid is happening is people are not watching it. And even though, yes, the money is nice because we got paid for it, the fact is we want to make a difference in people's lives. We want to make an impact, and we want them to use our expertise, and to come back and to, do further business with us. So
I totally agree. People are evented out. The VIP packages, it feels like more is better, except more isn't better. It leaves the person with all of that content completely overwhelmed. So what do? Nothing, right? Because it's too much content all at once that they're already busy. How do they have time to absorb it? And so I've participated in a lot of summits in the last year, and rarely do people even download my free gifts. And I'm sure it's not just my gift. I'm sure it's all the other gifts. And I know when I've been as a speaker, when I'm upgraded to VIP and I'm given all of it, I don't do anything with it because I have so much already on my plate. So that's the problem, is we're just overwhelming people with too much.
Yeah, there's so many people offering stuff. It's just like, but I just was watching something. It was part of the Groove Digital platform. They had a little presentation, and I took a screenshot of something. It says that I want to share. It says, because this is like perfect timing for this. So let me let's see, can I share? Let's see, here it is. This is a great little example. This is you got the time along the bottom, and then your effort going up. And at the beginning, when something's new, you got very little effort that is giving you great results. So the results up at the top initially start out with a lot of results, great results, but over time they diminish. And same thing at the beginning, little effort, but over time you have to increase effort to get butts in seats, get out there. And in the middle and stuff, where the results and effort kind of intersect, is they're showing that that's kind of where the courses come into play. And then after that point, they said that what you're doing is considered a dinosaur. It's old. It's not working anymore. And that's kind of what we're just talking about. It's we're kind of hitting the dinosaur phase, but they're saying that the early adopters on new stuff, that's the insiders. That's where you want to get to in that. So I just thought that was interesting little chart showing evolution of marketing strategies and that. Because that's kind of where we're at. That's where we got to come up with something new and that.
Something new. What can that be? Let's do. I'll send out a message. Do some scouring on the internet, see what you can uncover, talk to folks.
One of the things they were talking about is they were kind of promoting, like early, gosh, when was it? Like 10 years or so ago, whatever it was, the video sales letter. Having the lead capture page, but with a video message on there. That was kind of the new thing in that. So, it's definitely a challenge to get out there.
I have an interesting thought that I will share. And this happened, I was kind of laughing when you're talking about buying a summit and then not doing anything with it, because I just did that a couple of weeks ago. But what I noticed with this summit is, I think it was running through Thanksgiving weekend or something, and it was out of the state. So that made sense because they didn't know it was Thanksgiving up here. So I knew I couldn't attend live. So I purchased the VIP because what it did is it released it to me immediately. So it was all pre-recorded. So if that was an approach to a summit, I think an extra thing that could be, what would I say, like a customer service or a customer relationship thing would be if somebody signed up with a summit, that you actually schedule a 15-minute phone call with them and determine what their needs are and let them know the pieces of the summit that they should be watching, like kind of like curating content for them. I think that might be an interesting approach to a summit, because often there's a lot of things that we maybe don't need to hear. So maybe that's a kind of a different way of selling the summit, is with a custom curated content that people would have to take 15 minutes and have a look with somebody. Just a thought.
Well, that's one of the things that Nancy and I attended, that the virtual event on virtual events, and that Barry and Blue did. And they were saying that, okay, one, you never want to offer recordings to your live events because people won't show up. But then they had an addendum to that. It says, unless you're offering that as a VIP upgrade. And so but you don't get the recordings right away. But so with their event, we haven't gotten the recordings yet. I think it's another week or something like that before they're going to make them available. But what Helen, what you're talking about is ideal. I think where you do make the recordings available, you have it like time stamped on, this is this speaker on this topic and that, instead of just having recordings, and that you have a little more detailed table of contents, so to speak, for people to consume what pieces they really want.
And I'm
And I think
thinking
if
another.
it's
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Nancy, I was just going to say, if it's a 3-day summit, for example, like, I don't know who can take their time to go and do
Yes.
a summit for 3 days. So what if you could actually just choose, there's 2 speakers on this day, there's nobody on that day, and there's 5 on the last day. That's what I want to do. I feel like that could be a real cool, kind of like like a customer service or a custom approach, that whoever is putting the summit together would actually have a meeting with you, figure out what your needs are. Maybe there'd be like a little questionnaire, and then they'd actually guide you through what's going to be of benefit to you. I think that might be a cool approach.
Along that same line, you could almost, if you were having all those speakers be pre-recorded, you could sell a custom.
That's what I'm
event.
thinking. That's what I was just fixing to throw out. You could have that way, let's say for 5 courses, you would get this, for 3, you would get this. They could pick and choose a la carte.
A la carte, yeah.
Yeah. And then put it in their basket, whichever ones that they wanted. And that would just be great. 10-minute snippets, because anybody has 10 minutes of time. And I think 10 minutes is a good thing. All this 20, 30 on hour crap, people don't have time for that.
20 is
Even
about
though you can
max.
be great, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people are wanting bite-sized nuggets that they can implement like right away. And so
Well,
you can really niche it down.
That's one of the things that they teach in creating courses. Each of your lessons, you don't want it more than like 10 to 15 minutes max. So that you may have several of these chapters or lessons in each module, but by having it in bite-sized pieces to consume, you're also allowing the person consuming it, they're seeing progress. They're seeing, okay, I completed 3 out of 6 of
Yes.
these modules and whatnot. So but because it's 10 to 15 minutes each, they're easy to consume, and you can find time for that. So it's the same thing with all of these different presentations. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I really like the idea of the a la carte. That way you could pick and choose, because sometimes you go and you don't want to hear all of them. Could be something that you're just specifically interested in. Jessica, that's a fantastic idea. Let's carry this on for next week as well. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, all of this summit ideas are fabulous, but I need us to back up to what gets them to register to begin with.
Yeah, get
Like,
the interest.
once you have a minute, we can do all this custom, all these other things are great ideas.
Well, I think that's part of the
Well, that's
marketing,
part-
though.
that's
That's part of the marketing. The enticement is to understand that we're going to have all of this options for you. No more of this where you think you've got to be there 3 days or three, you know, whatever. It could become a
But
thing.
see that's this a la carte thing is one of the things you could really promote for the pre-recorded thing. But if it's a true live event, that's another challenge. Is how do you get the butts in the seats to watch that live event and register?
Right.
So yeah, we can mull on that for
Yeah, for the next time. But anyways, okay, we are at our 1 o'clock mark. Cosette, thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you found it valuable. We hope you come back next time and have a safe trip home from Houston. I look forward to meeting you live in person one day soon.
Oh no, I
And-
live here. I live here now. And my mom
Oh,
yeah, I live here. Yeah.
okay. I thought she said that you was her next door neighbor.
Yeah, my mom is. My mom is.
Oh,
but
I
she's
gotcha.
been living with me since the pandemic.
I gotcha. I
Yeah.
gotcha. All
Yeah,
right.
it's been very helpful. Can you send me? I think you should have my email. Can you send me information about how to sign up?
Absolutely. And you
Okay,
can
perfect.
save your chat down there in the bottom. I don't know if you see that, or we can get make sure that Juanita can get that to you.
Yes,
All right.
please.
And Nancy, can we chat soon? Because I would like to talk with you if you have time.
Yes.
Yeah, Cosette,
Okay.
if your information's in the chat, I'll send it to you because you're on a phone and you can't save the chat on
Oh,
the phone.
okay. I gotcha. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, I need a
Uh,
Nancy meeting. I need my Nancy fix. We haven't talked.
Okay.
in a while.
All right. Y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all soon. Take care.
Bye.